Hello everyone, welcome to Digit. My name is Yatnesh Dubey and this over here is the brand new Tata Harrier 2024 Fearless Plus variant, which has an on-road price of rupees 28.50 lakh here in Noida. Now I have driven this car for more than 600 kilometers and this is my in-depth review of all the tech and the performance of this car. Now, although the build quality of the entire front unit feels very solid, your bumper has to remain fiber over here, like you can see over here. It presses with just my hand. This lifted nose look is what gives this SUV its signature styling and its signature look. Brand new grille design, which looks very muscular in my opinion. And this is a part of the 360-degree camera system. Request sensor over here, and they are present on both the sides. You have your fog lamps and the main headlamp, where the headlamp has shifted from being over here. So with that said, let me quickly show you what all do you get on the sides. Firstly, you have your side mounted mirrors. As you can see, you have your indicator blip over here, and then you have your cameras over here to show you how much ground clearance this car has. And as you can see, it is a whole lot. Celebrating 50 lakhs cars sold over a span of 25 years by Tata Motors. Now you also have your fuel cap over onto this side. Now this just opens with a tap. You can just tap this and this thing opens. As you can see, this is the diesel. Okay, so now that we are done with the side profile of the car, let me just quickly take you on to the back side and show you what all is unique there. So firstly, you have these lights and they also do that cute animation. Let me just quickly show you. This is the lock button. I'll just press this and yeah, you can see these dancing lights. This design really builds upon the old one and looks better in more ways than one. First of all, this semi boxy shape really stands out from the crowd, and it feels like you are not just driving a sub 20 lakh or a sub 30 lakh SUV. You are driving a car which is much more premium than that. Like, I guarantee you, whenever you will take this car out on the road, heads will turn. Firstly, because of its size, and secondly, because of its styling. Now this is, I think, 455 for 60 liters of boot space. I'll just showcase it on the screen, the correct number. Now you don't get the spare wheel over here. As you can see, there is no spare wheel, but instead you get it right down over here, as you can see. Now this is not an 18-inch wheel, this is a 16-inch wheel, but overall this car is a looker, and this is looking fantastic in this yellow color and right under the sun. So for those of you who are wondering, this is the key of the brand new Tata Harrier. As you can see, you have a bunch of functions over here. So let me just quickly show you what happens when I lock this car. This is the lock button. I'll just press it. Wow, did you just see that? So this is the type of animation which plays every time when you lock or unlock the car. Now you have another light up feature over here. Like, whenever you press this, the lights of the car come on. Let me show you how. You just press this, yeah, and they just come on. However, even if your key isn't working, you can just manually open the boot right from over here. Let me just show you how. There will be a button over here and you just have to press it once and the thing opens up automatically. So yeah, this is pretty nice. And if you want to close the boot, you just have to press this button over here. Just press it and the thing goes down. Now that we are done with the exterior of the car, let me quickly take you on the inside and show you what all is there. Come, follow me. Best thing about the Tata Harrier is that you get a lot of space, and the same thing is true over here. Like, my height is 5 feet 8 inches and right now I am sitting very comfortably. Now the front seat is adjusted to my seat height, so right now I still have plenty of, like, this is the amount of knee room that I have, and frankly this is the amount of headroom that I have. And also I have good thigh support over here. Like, you can see, I can sit back and all the area up until my thigh is easily fully covered. This is a very special headrest and it keeps your head in place if you are trying to relax. Let me show you how it works. You can just simply put your head here and then your head will not wobble over here or over here. You can just simply relax and then enjoy your long ride. AC vents which are placed over here, which will keep you cool during the long journeys. We have two charging ports, one a type A and another type C. You see, you have your little bit of storage over here, and then you get two storage compartments built into the car's door. Over here you can store something, and then over here you can store one bottle and another very small container right over there. Now to make your journeys comfortable, you also get an armrest right over here, and this has built-in cup holders as well. Every passenger gets one, like this one over there, and there is one over here as well. Body color onto the inside panels of the car, like you can see this yellow color onto the door handles, you can see it onto the dashboard right over there, you can see it over here, you can see it in this exposed pillar. Chalo, with that done, let me quickly take you on to the driver side and show you what all is there. So that was a very nice thud. Let me quickly hear it again. Yeah, that is pretty nice. But the thud is even more pronounced when you open and close the driver side door, because this is much more heavier. So you know, just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is heavy. So speaking of things which are also annoying, is this electric seat adjustment over here. Like you can see, we have 3 positions over here, 1, 2 and 3, and there is a manual, and then there is a seat ventilation system. Now one last thing which will annoy a lot of people, especially those who are tall, is this thing. Like this thing really gets into the way whenever you are trying to drive, and I think that there should be more space scooped out of at least this area so that people's knees do not get in the way. So what ends up happening is that even if I want to change the fan speed, I have to park my car onto the side and then very carefully do this thing. I mean, for 360-degree camera, I get it. For, you know, opening the boot, I get it. But for fan speed, for temperature and all those things, at least the controls should be physical. And last but not the least, the panel gaps are very inconsistent. Look at this thing, and then look at that thing. Now that the negatives are out of the way, let me quickly talk about the positives. The first one being this display. Now this is a very high refresh rate display, and it is also very bright. It is also very responsive. Like there is hardly any lag while using this. I mean, I am a tech reviewer mostly, and I deal with screens day in and day out, and I can tell you just by touching it, this is very good. Like also this is a high refresh rate display. Like I am pretty sure that the refresh rate over here is going above 60 Hz. Like right now when I'm scrolling, it is pretty smooth. It is definitely going above 60 Hz, so that is one thing. This is one of the best displays that I have seen, at least in this segment. Also, there are a bunch of things to play over here. Firstly, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So let me quickly show you the menu and then we'll talk. So as you can see, you have a bunch of things to play over here. You can change the mood lighting, you can use Amazon Alexa, you have various JBL modes. Oh yeah, this thing has JBL speakers, by the way, as you can see from the branding over here, and they are pretty good. I will give you a sample very soon. Now if you'll go down, you'll also see a bunch of new settings. Like you can see, there's radio, there's voice assistant, there's a sound demo feature, there's data assist, and there's surround view 360-degree camera, which is also present over here. But a very good thing which I really liked is this quick settings menu, because it gives you access to a bunch of important settings right over here. For instance, I don't like the seats being changed every time I enter or exit the car. So to change that, I can just go into the quick settings menu, and from over there I can go into the seats menu, and when I press this, I will have the option to disable this thing. I can just disable this, and now my position will be there. Now if we'll go back, we'll see a bunch of other features as well. Like we can set the lights over here, we can set the approach light duration over here to 30 seconds, 60 seconds and 90 seconds, and we can also switch off the DRLs if we want to, which is also pretty handy. Now this car comes with an ADAS, but a lot of people may not like using it, especially inside the chaos of the city. So there is a way to turn it off as well. You can just go inside this menu, and then you can disable any or all of the features that you want, and then your car will not disturb you whenever you are driving. Apart from that, you can also enable the option to open the tailgate using your foot gesture over here, like this tailgate gesture access. You can simply swipe underneath the tailgate and then it will open, although sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so it's kind of a hit and miss. Now right over here you can see your volume buttons, and over here you can see your navigation buttons, like this notification button. This basically lets you navigate through the menu. Like as you press this, your menu changes. And then these buttons are to go inside and outside of the menu. Now over here is your cruise control, and these are the buttons to increase or decrease the speed. This thing over here, this blind spot monitoring system over here, which is also very handy, especially when you have to take into account the chaos that is the Indian traffic. And you also get voice commands. Listen to this. Open sunroof.
Sure, opening sunroof.
And magic. Now one last thing which remains before we move on to the performance section is the speaker output. So let me quickly play you a song and then we'll see how it performs. You have acoustic, you have bass enhancer, you have wide stage so that you can increase the sound stage of the song, and then you have custom in which you can set your own as well. And not just that, you can also manually control the speakers on each and every seat of the car as well, which is again very granular control of the speaker system. And you also have the option to set the temperature of the passenger and the driver side individually, which is a great boon, especially if you are going the longer distances. But if you want the temperature in both the areas to remain same, you just have to press this button. And also it goes without saying, but the AC is really powerful and the built-in air purifier works like a charm. Another thing which I absolutely love over here is this 360-degree camera. Like the clarity and the latency of the camera is so good that I can totally rely on it and just forget looking into the mirrors altogether. And you can get a 2D as well as a 3D view of the entire street wherever you are, doesn't matter. And you can also change the elements that appear over here, like this fuel economy. This instant fuel economy is one element that I have set. It was not there. I can just change it over here. I can go into this and I can just change this to distant to empty. DEF, power and torque, G-force, compass, ADAS, or I can just go back. So these are the small things which really make the Tata Harrier a tech loaded SUV. So if you are driving at night time, then this is how the cabin of the new Tata Harrier looks. You have your ambient lighting and all the switches light up. You also have a little bit of lighting over here which gives the cabin a very good ambience. And if you want to change the light that is appearing over here, you just have to go into the settings and then you have to select mood light, and then you can change the color as you want. Like right now I've turned it into purple, or you can just choose the color from any of these over here. You can choose, it's blue, now it's light pink or something like that. Now this car is powered by a 2-liter diesel engine with 4 cylinders, and that produces around 170 brake horsepower and around 350 Newton meters of torque. But in terms of real world performance, I am both impressed as well as concerned. See, I am mainly impressed because this car has a lot of low end torque which can propel the car from a standpoint very easily. उसी के साथ साथ out on the highway, this car has a lot of power as well. I can easily do speeds of 120 to 125 km per hour or above without even breaking a sweat. I can easily maintain 2000 rpm at 6th gear, and this car will feel at breeze while going at high speed. That climb to 120 km per hour is fairly easy. even in city modes, and in sports mode this car becomes a whole different beast altogether, achieving that figure even faster. But what I am not impressed by is the clutch. In fact, many people on Twitter were also concerned about the clutch as well. The first problem with the clutch is that it has a really long travel. And on top of that, the clutch is also very hard. Like, you really have to press it against your leg to fully engage it, and after a while it gets really tiring. And there is also another issue with the clutch which arises when I put the car in the second gear. You see, what happens is that whenever I put it in the second gear and whenever I try to let go of the clutch altogether, the car will begin to stall. So instead, what I have to do is I have to start playing with the clutch to find the right biting point, and then all of a sudden the car will move forward with a lot of momentum. So right now I am completely at a stop. So firstly I'll put the car in the first gear, then I'll move a little bit, and then I'll quickly put in the second gear, and this thing happens. Like, this is not an issue of me not properly handling the manual transmission system, because I tried the same thing in the Tata Nexon and the car does not stalls there. So as a result, I end up playing with the clutch a lot, and that also costs me my fuel efficiency as well, because I am fiddling with the clutch a lot just to get the car going. So that combination of a really long clutch and a really hard clutch takes some of the fun out of driving this manual transmission Tata Harrier. Like, I have recently driven the newly launched Tata Nexon as well, and there is no such issue over there. Now moving on to the gearbox, I have no complaints with it. It works very well. It is just not as smooth as something you would find in a Suzuki Grand Vitara or a Hyundai Creta, but it gets the job done. Now some people were also asking about the driving position in the Harrier, or is it suitable for somewhat short riders. So let me tell you, it is completely suitable. If you are 5 feet 5 inches or above, you can easily drive this car without any issues. You have electric seats in this variant, so you can easily adjust the seat to your height and you can easily get a very wide view of the front hood. Next, people also wanted to know whether the light steering has somewhat changed the truck type driving feel of the Harrier. To them, I have to say that no, it hasn't. Yes, the car has become easy to maneuver. Yes, you can easily go around the corners and you don't have to break your wrist while doing so. But out on the highway, you feel just as confident. The steering tightens up whenever you are going at high speeds, and I myself drove the Harrier at above 120 kilometers per hour and it performed beautifully. Not even for a single second I thought that this steering feels too light. It felt just the right amount of tight and it performed beautifully. So next, people also wanted to know how comfortable this car is for driving on longer routes. Well, to that I have to say that it is relatively comfortable. I mean, if you don't have to engage with the clutch a lot, then you'll feel a lot more relaxed, especially if you are going on a route which is empty and you just pick one speed and then just keep going at it, because the car keeps you very well insulated. The damping is very good. There is little to no outside noise apart from the engine, and yeah, the suspension are also pretty nice. However, if you have to play with the clutch a lot, then your driving experience will get deteriorated. And speaking of fuel economy, you can easily expect 19 kilometers out on the highway and 13 to 15 kilometers per liter in the city. Now, rest of the stuff that you get in the level 2 ADAS in the Tata Harrier includes lane departure warning, lane keep assist, cruise control, as well as automatic braking. Now, one really awesome thing over here is that you can set the sensitivity of the forward collision warning system. Like, you can just go into this menu and then scroll down and then you can select the sensitivity to high. So those of you who are new to driving and who want a little bit more control over their car, they can use this feature and they will be easily able to drive, you know, this big of a vehicle. And this is especially useful for shorter drivers, you know, especially if you're not able to see until the end of the hood, you can just enable this thing and then you can be, you know, rest assured that this car won't smash into anything above. Now, since this is such a big SUV, naturally people expect it to have off-road capabilities, but it does not have a 4x4. Instead, Tata has given several terrain modes over here. Like as you can see, this is right now in the normal mode. I can put it into the wet mode, and
Wet
then
mode is activated.
yeah, I can put it into the rough road mode.
Rough road mode is activated.
Now there is a patch of the road up ahead, and let's see, does the rough road or terrain mode makes a difference or not. So this is the rough road patch. Let's see what difference does the rough road makes. Chalo, let's do this. All right, so okay, so yeah, the torque felt very you know, easy over here. And yeah, I think it does not make much of a difference, but a little bit of a difference is there between this mode and driving in the normal mode. So yeah, if you are planning to take this thing off-road, first of all, do not take it onto dangerous off-road areas. Just take it into those places where you can easily use this rough mode and get out of sticky situations. This SUV is best suited for the tarmac and the rough roads, that's all. Now, one really cool piece of tech is the cruise control, the adaptive cruise control actually. So all you have to do is just gain a little bit of speed. Like, let me just do that over here. You don't have to gain too much, just around 60 kilometers per hour will do. And just press this button and then press the OK button and then press the speed. Now at 60 kilometers per hour, my cruise control is set and I can just relax and just enjoy the driving experience. Like, this is one way to not engage with the clutch at all. And you also have the electronic parking brake. Now every time you will stop the car and whenever you'll restart it, you'll actually have to disengage this electronic parking brake. And you also have auto hold function over here as well. And lastly, you also have hill descent control over here as well, for those of you who really want control, full control while going down a hill. So that was the 2024 Tata Harrier. Now, I really like this car, but I cannot recommend its manual version unless the problem with the clutch isn't rectified. But the rest of the car is quite good. It is a head turner in terms of design, and it is one of the good choices when it comes to tech as well as performance. So if you really want one, I would recommend going for the automatic variant. This is me, Yatnesh Dubey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.